And most of New England, it seems. Michelle joining us now with the latest on the storm's track, and it sounds like some of the intense bands of snow could be moving in.
Yeah, so they're just starting to arrive westerly right now, Patrick. We're moderate snow across much of the area, but we're talking about the potential here for snowfall rates of 2 to 3 inches an hour, maybe even some embedded thunder within this snow. So it's going to make for very, very difficult travel here as the morning goes on. In fact, this very heavy snow that's over coastal Connecticut now across the extreme southwestern corner of Rhode Island. You know, not to downplay what's falling right now along parts of 195, 295 and 95, but it's going to get worse here as the next hour or two goes on. Let's take a look at the bigger picture. Off to our south and west, we are seeing already some mixing and changing over to sleet and freezing rain. That's the green and the yellows that you see. Even getting reports in places like Bridgeport, Connecticut of a little bit of sleet mixing in with the heavy snowfall. And that transition over from just plain snow to a wintry mix expected to occur in our area here later this morning through the early afternoon before changing back over to some lighter snowfall. You know, this is one of those storms where the bulk of it falls within maybe a 6-hour time. So the heaviest of it will be this morning. We're going to keep lighter snowfall in the forecast through the evening commute, but the most intense part of the storm happening now through about early to mid-afternoon. We've picked up 2 inches of snowfall so far in Burrillville, North Providence, East Providence, and Seekonk, about 1.5 inches in Portsmouth and New Bedford with 1 inch. And just before I came on camera again here this morning, getting a report up closer to Worcester of about 2.5 inches of snow. So it is piling up quickly. The morning and afternoon, we have dangerous travel conditions expected. Our threat tracker Futurecast high, heavy snow giving way to ice, freezing rain, gusty winds, and then a rapid freeze overnight tonight. So our threat tracker Futurecast, even as the snow winds down, cold wind chills 10 to 20 below expected tonight, and icy conditions on any untreated surfaces. So the winter storm warning is in effect until 1 o'clock Tuesday morning, with a winter weather advisory in effect for Block Island, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket. The best chance for sleet and ice goes past Providence up into, let's say, along the 295 corridor, and farther north and west, places like Burrillville up into Worcester, you're going to stay primarily just snow, and that's where our heaviest snowfall amounts will be. So we'll get up here, and this is mostly through 2 o'clock this afternoon that these accumulations happen. So 4 to 8 inches in the Providence area, less at the coastline. In fact, you're going to start to see that mix with and change over to sleet here over the next couple of hours at the coast. So the amounts will be lightest there. 4 to 8 Providence, 8 to 12 in our northern communities. Temperatures right now, teens and 20s. We're up to 23 New Bedford, 22 Newport, 19 in Providence. The temperatures climb all the way up to between, say, upper 20s and lower 30s later this morning and for a time this afternoon when we see that mix with ice and freezing rain. And then by the evening hours, notice those temperatures already starting to fall very quickly. So low pressures sitting up across north central Pennsylvania right now. It's going to track just south of our area, so a path that brings this rain snow line into Rhode Island and southeastern Massachusetts. Our Futurecast, I think, does a very nice job showing this. So at 7 o'clock in the morning, we start to see that mix with and change over to sleet first at the coastline, and then maybe as far north as our northern parts of Rhode Island, right along maybe the Massachusetts Rhode Island border. Now that may be brief. By noontime, it's changing back over to snow first northwestern part of the state and then working our way down to the coastline. By the evening commute, the intensity of the snow has eased up, but still some lingering snow expected into the first part of this evening before clearing out overnight tonight. Take a look at the 7-day Futurecast for you. Temperatures rapidly fall. So we're down all the way to 8 degrees overnight tonight, and wind chills well below 0 in the morning hours. It's going to be brutally cold here to start the morning tomorrow. 10 to 20 degree wind chills below 0. Even in the afternoon, the wind chills will be closer to 0. That cold eases a bit for Wednesday, and then some of our computer models showing another storm for Thursday into Friday morning. Accumulations possible. We're still going to be ironing out the details on that. We'll get through this morning's storm and this afternoon here, and then we'll start to focus in on what's happening perhaps late in the week. You'll want to check in with Tony tonight live at 5. He'll have the latest on the Futurecast. You can also download our app for the iPhone, iPad, Android smartphone, WPRI.com. Let's go out to JamCam traffic reporter Gina Brown.